Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Thursday, April 8th, 2021. It is me, Boomy, on Twitter at BoomyTCF. And this morning I am joined by Zach, of course, at ZLiliaTCF. Make sure to check out the Twitter main page at typical_Chicago, Facebook, and Instagram. Type in typical Chicago fans. You can find us there. Today, we will have a loaded show with everything going on this week. We have the NCAA championship game that took place Monday evening, a Cubs and Sox update as they are now about a week into the season, Bulls and Blackhawks as they near the end of the season. A little bit of NFL news since the last time we were on here. The league expands to 17 games, and of course, a wacky web story to finish things up. But like I said, make sure you follow us on social media. Make sure to check out our friends over at 26shirts.com Chicago for a t-shirt just like the one I have up here. Tons of other designs. You can't go wrong. 26shirts.com/Chicago. Promo code typical Chicago fans for 15% off your order. Summer's coming around the corner. You need a new wardrobe so you stop wearing the same hoodie every single day. No better place to go. 26shirts.com/Chicago. Zach, how are we doing, my fully vaccinated co-host?
Not feeling the best, but I'm excited for I was thinking about this today. Made me feel a little crappy for a few days, but whatever gets me to the federal landmark where I can have a nice cold beer with my buddies, with Boomy, with Matt, with Fred. So I'm excited about that. But speaking of Don Frederick, Ian Happ is doing it's a home run club. So you get $5 for Connect Roasters, which I got my coffee grounds here. And you get a little letter if you're in the club this is for April 2021. Every home run that Ian Happ hits, which he has hit one, you get $5 for the store. You get like a $5 Ian Happ buck, I guess as you would say, which is awesome. You get a little letter here from Ian Happ.
That's awesome.
I put it on Twitter today. He quote tweeted that was awesome. And I know Dom has been on the Compound podcast with Ian and stuff, and they've become friends, which is awesome. But awesome thing that Ian Happ is doing here with Connect Roasters. He started off with the quarantine coffee. But this is awesome. This is I would say I've never actually made coffee, but I bought a coffee maker. I'm going to try it. My mother is going to show me how, so I'm excited for that. But shout out to Ian Happ for that. This is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things when you were showing me, it made me almost wish I was a coffee guy. Very cool thing.
I seen when he quote tweeted it, somebody said, I don't drink coffee, but how can I get involved in this?
Yeah, seriously. That's kind of the way I was feeling about it. But obviously Cubs season in full swing. Hopefully Ian hits more and more home runs, get you some Ian Happ bucks in the connector. It's Connect Roasters. Is that what it's called? Connect Coffee?
Connect Roasters, Connect Coffee Roasters. ConnectRoasters.com is where you go. Awesome.
Very cool stuff, man. But let's jump into it. It's been a while since we've been on the podcast waves. Since the last time we talked, the national championship has been decided, and Gonzaga ruins their perfect season, fall to Baylor on Monday night. Man, I'm telling you, I think it might even have been Marty Mush or Rico Bosco that said it. Like, Baylor could have beaten the Pistons that night. No one was beating Baylor. They just outplayed.
There hasn't been even a one-loss team that's won the national championship since Indiana had the perfect season.
Yeah, that's crazy. Baylor just put it all together. I mean, they were I think they're 8-9 deep.
Were we blinded by this perfect record? Because if you look at it, Baylor lost coming off of COVID. That was a weird game. And then they lost at Kansas.
Yeah, on senior night, and Kansas hasn't lost a game on senior night in
that years. That was right after COVID, right?
Yeah, they had just come off of
the loss to break. Oklahoma State.
Yep, number 1 pick in the draft.
In the Big East tournament.
No, Big 12. But yeah.
Oh, sorry, Big 12. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in Baylor, I mean, look at the schedule that they had to run through, and like you said, you're looking at it as if they hadn't had that COVID break, would we be talking about an undefeated champion in them? I mean, they just were the complete package for 95% of the year, and I do think they get overshadowed by Gonzaga a little bit, but they were the number 2 team in the country damn near the entire season,
and they played a lot better teams.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But it's just like it's not like this was, a Butler team that no one really knew about before this season started. Like Baylor was the consensus second best team in the country since the first AP polls came out, and they just put it all together on Monday night and gave it to Gonzaga.
Other than finding out that Baylor is the best team on Monday night, we found out that they need to have like 6 fouls, 7 fouls.
Yes.
Foul trouble cannot be a problem in a game like this, especially on 2, was it offensive fouls, right?
Yeah, I think they need to reevaluate something about charge calls, because college referees are way too happy on calling charge calls that aren't even like, you can argue that they are under the letter of the law, but it's like you said, you're losing Jalen Suggs, who is the second best player going to be in the NBA draft. He's going to be the second overall pick, and you lose him 8 minutes into the game because some ref wants to get charge happy. Like, come on, man. That's not what we tuned in to see. That's not what this is. And I did see the ratings. Everybody was talking about these ratings might not be very good, whatever the case, yada, yada, yada.
A lot of people watched.
It's the most watched basketball game since Game 6 of the NBA Finals in 2016. So a lot of people watch. People did not tune in to watch Jalen Suggs sit on the bench.
A national championship game in 2 years. It didn't matter who was in this game. A lot of people were going to watch.
Yes, but like people didn't tune in to watch Jalen Suggs play for 7 minutes in the first half on a kind of questionable charge call. Like, I
want to see the best 2 teams and their best players. Yes. And I don't want fouls to get in the way. And you can say whatever you want. That's annoying. Like,
yes. Now, if they're just like stupid, like playing lazy defense, then sure. But
what?
If it's like where they're picking up fouls, playing, lazy defense and not doing what they're supposed to, that's one thing.
Oh, yeah. But even at that, it's just like, I want to see the best players out there.
Yeah, I agree. It did. I mean, everybody said, the game was a stinker. It was a blowout. Yeah, but even without Suggs, it was a 10-point game at half. And me and you watched every second of it. We're, a little bit outside of the, what people consider normal sports fans. But at the same time, it was still I still think, and I will argue this with anybody, the 2 best teams in college basketball we got for the national championship. And we just saw a Baylor team that played possibly the best game of anybody we've seen all year.
These were the best 2 teams, and I don't think anyone was beating Baylor.
No, they would have beat
that night. No one was beating Baylor Monday night. No one.
No one. And this might be TCF rewrites the rules in the future, but we need to make the NCAA championship at least a best of 3 series. I don't care if people think it's corny or candy ass or whatever. Give me as many Gonzaga Baylors as humanly possible. I would watch that every single night you put it on. So, so college basketball season is over, means baseball season is in full swing. Cubs and Sox, not great starts. Cubs are sitting at 3-3 as we speak. Sox are sitting at 3-4. Sox have played all their games on the road, but let's start with the Cubs. They dropped one yesterday in extras to the Brewers. They lose 2 out of 3. It's just, I don't know where my expectations truly were, but today's loss, they didn't play great until, Jock Peterson hits that bomb in the 8th inning, and you still give yourself a chance to win, but they need to become a little bit.
At one point today, they were 0 for 32.
Yeah, that's what the
yesterday and the day before.
Great. Yeah, you can, and don't go crazy. I've seen some Sox fans, already jumping off, the ship. Cubs fans too, but it's like, we're literally 6 and 7 games into a 162 game run.
Let's calm down a little bit. We have a lot of games left. It's not a 60-game season like last year.
100%. And think about this, where the Cubs are right now. What's been the best part for the Cubs as of late? They're pitching. something we have all complained about and worried about since Yu Darvish got traded back in January. I mean,
it's crazy. The Cubs problem is offense, and the White Sox problem is defense. It's brutal.
Yeah. It's
I mean, it's not like they're just making some bad plays. It's bad plays. Like plays that have to be made if you want to win a division.
Yep. And like you said, it's still early. They got time to figure it out. But the Cubs, I mean, get a great start out of Trevor Williams on Tuesday night. It's one of those things that if the starting
pitched really well yesterday.
Yeah, the starting pitching has not been, the big thing to complain about. The offense has got to come around.
Yeah, and then in the 10th inning, they gave up a 3-run homer. So and that was tough. But Craig Kimbrell, Dirty Craig, looking good.
Yeah, for a guy who had a horrible spring training, was just giving up bombs left and right, has looked pretty well.
If you really watched, I know it sounds stupid, but it was there. He was throwing some good stuff there.
He was just leaving meatballs in the middle of the plate in spring training, and it came back to bite him in the ass a lot. But no, if he stays consistent, they can figure the rest of the bullpen out. The Cubs have always been we'll figure the bullpen out, as it goes along. So, it's if the pitching can stay there, the offense has got to contribute. Wilson Contreras is batting under 100, I believe, on the season. It's one of those things. If he's going to be your middle of the order guy every single day,
Hobby's got to
some point.
Something.
Yeah, Hobby's all over the place right now.
He's got to do something.
Yeah, but this is all boiling down to it. The offense has to be better for a group of guys that have been either won MVPs or been in MVP conversations for the last 5 years.
It's the same problem the last 2 years. It seems like it's just like the offense is just not there.
Remember when everybody thought that Chili Davis was the problem? It's not. We'll have to find out. But like you said, the White Sox, they were on the West Coast the whole first week of the season. They will be home today facing the Royals. The Cubs will be on the road in Pittsburgh. But the White Sox sitting at 3-4, but unfortunately lose Tim Anderson for a little bit. Gonna be, I think, 10 days. They said. So
10-day IL.
Yes. Yep. So I think it's weird when you start off the beginning of the season all on the West Coast. And obviously I love late night baseball because I've fallen asleep, watching some Sox games.
Tough though.
They have significantly struggled on the road. So hopefully they get back home and kind of get things rolling starting today. But
the Cubs, they play the Pirates. They play the Pirates on Thursday, then they have Friday off, then they play them again Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. And the White Sox also have Friday off. So the White Sox also didn't get that. You know how when they start the season on Thursday, a lot of teams get that Friday off. The White Sox did not have that. So
a little bit of a scheduling note, if you're watching sports tonight, the Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox all played today because I think the Cubs play at noon.
Yep, 12:35.
And then do you have any idea what time the White Sox play?
Tomorrow. I believe it's an afternoon game because they're traveling from the West Coast. I just had it pulled up. Yeah, 3:00.
Look at that. We'll have a Cubs game at 12, White Sox at 3, and then Hawks and Bulls at nighttime.
Now, if only I could watch the damn Cubs game, but I'm being stubborn right now. But like you said, let's move on. We have the Bulls. They're fighting to stay alive in the.
I think they're starting to figure it out. The team, they haven't been together for very long, and I think if you watch it, they're starting to really come together.
Yeah. Yep. And they're 3 games out of the 8 seed. I don't think. They might be able to. I'm not holding my breath on them making the playoffs. I mean, I think the additions that you made at the trade deadline are great. We've seen Zach LaVine miss a couple games.
Yeah, they'll be in contention.
Well, yeah, definitely.
They'll be there, but I don't know if it's going to matter.
Right.
But honestly, with some of the trades made, they could have, I don't know, a little fun in the playoffs. Who knows?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you have 2 all-stars on your team. It's one of those things that, you stay in contention the last couple of weeks, let the chips fall where they may.
I can say whatever I want. Bulls are in a first round playoff game. I'm excited.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And even if they're not, this is the latest we've talked about competitive Bulls basketball.
Very true.
In a long time. I mean,
Boomy, what's the big difference here?
Owner or management. Without a doubt. I mean, you see what's happening now. You got 2 All-Stars. Like I said, you don't make the playoffs. You start looking ahead towards the draft. Free agency, I think, is going to be is a thing that all Bulls fans are excited about, to see if the Bulls can finally pick up at least one big name free agent, and then you go from there. But like you said, as we sit now, April 8th, we're still in a playoff hunt. So, like you keep letting it fall where it is. The Blackhawks, unfortunately, still kind of in the middle of the pack there as of right now. As we record this, they are 2 points out of a playoff spot, but they got a shot, and they just keep, staying in games and forcing overtime, picking up points. But like Matt has said in the past couple of weeks, you got to get to a point where you're stacking up a couple 2 points in a night. Because
hockey's kind of sport. You stick around, you sneak in the playoffs. Anything can happen.
You saw it last year. The Blackhawks make the playoffs somehow, and they win a playoff series. I mean, granted, it didn't go much farther after that, but you get in, and they're only 2 points out, and that is not an insurmountable lead, especially with the way. I mean, Nashville's ahead of them, and I think Nashville's a very average team. But you get in and see what happens. Kirby Dack, I wish Maddie was here to kind of give us more on what he's seen, but Kirby Dack's back in the lineup, and it's not out of the realm of possibilities that we see this Blackhawks team in an early round playoff matchup. Wouldn't hate that at all. Would love to see Bulls and Blackhawks both playing in a playoff series at the same time. They'll be bringing back like the 2012 days.
Yeah,
2010, 2011.
2010 was when they won the first one.
Yeah, but then with the Bulls, it's been a while since we've had competitive playoffs in both teams at the United Center. So you usually get one and not the other. But let's jump to the NFL. The NFL, since the last time we recorded, has approved of a 17-game season. What are your thoughts, Zach?
More football.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No more 500.
Yeah. Bears can't go 8-8 anymore.
Shut up.
Here's my thing, and this is going to be the dumbest thing I've said in a while. Well, take it easy. I don't like that it's not a round number. My brain is so programmed.
Me too. I don't like how you can't go 500.
Yes, exactly. 162 games in baseball, 82 games in hockey and basketball. Like even college football, you get, if you are playing in a conference championship, it's 12 games, right? Like there's something about a rounded number. Like, this is just an entryway to get them to an 18-game season here.
Oh yeah. But with us, we just enjoy the extra game we get.
Without a doubt. I think what eventually they need to do, they need to go to 18 games, bump the Super Bowl back one more weekend so we can get it. I believe it's Martin Luther King Day weekend. So everybody gets that following Monday off. You knock out 2 birds with one stone. You get to have your Super Bowl. You get to have a little extra fun, and you don't have to go to work on Monday. So
I don't mind that.
Roger Goodell, hire me, man. I got some ideas. I don't need a lot of money.
Don't mind that, Boomy.
Hey, I'm just thinking out loud here, okay? Let's finish it up. I got a wacky web story for you. And Zach, I know we're both excited for the summer, getting out, catching some minor league baseball games, doing some traveling. Speaking of that, I did get my drone today, so I got to figure out how to operate that without cutting my finger off Trevor Bauer style. But we may have to make an extra trip to Maine. A pair of or a husband and wife in Maine have hidden $20,000 somewhere in the state of Maine as a celebration for the state's bicentennial, I believe. That sounds right. Somewhere in the state, they're inviting treasure seekers to come and get it. The creators of the treasure hunt and the company behind the hunt Dirigo Treasures LLC. It's a husband and wife, and they've spent 3 years exploring, photographing locations around the state before creating an elaborate hide and seek game. You're going to have to solve puzzles and kind of figure out a treasure map. But like I said, 20 grand up for grabs. I'm not sure either of us could figure out a single puzzle about it, but hey, something to do, my man.
I'm out.
Maybe what we do is we start right now. We start recruiting people that are smarter than us, and we just make fun.
But then, Boomy, the more people you get involved, the less money.
Well, we make them sign a contract that they're like 2%.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
We'll float you $1,000. You just be smart. We'll just be funny and take videos of it.
Yeah, that sounds
Who
like
says no?
That sounds like too much work, though.
Yeah, it kind of does. It really does. But Zach, anything else post show?
Not really. We're, like I said, Cubs, Sox, Bulls, Blackhawks all play today.
I did want to. Did you see Boston Red Sox City Edition uniforms that got released?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so the Red Sox, in honor of like the Boston Marathon or whatever, are doing like a city edition, kind of what the NBA does. They're going to wear yellow and baby blue uniforms. When I first saw them, I could have sworn they were UCLA Bruins uniforms.
So do you think, are you going to be buying them?
Probably not. Probably not. Just and this is what I wanted to bring up. Like, does baseball need to do something like this? I think the NBA's kind of gone a little overboard with it, as crazy as that is for a Jersey guy to say. But like, I feel like the NBA has, obviously everybody has the city edition. Those are cool. And then they did like the chosen edition where all the teams that made the playoffs last year got a special jersey. Like, slow your roll. We don't need to be like, especially someone who goes out and buys uniforms like crazy. I don't need, 48 new options every year to pick from. Like, give me one, or each team can have, one here or there. But like,
I also think your wife would think the same thing.
Oh, without a doubt. She's definitely like, what are we doing here? But like, maybe baseball does it. Maybe it doesn't have to be every year, maybe every couple years. You throw, and they got to stop with those players weekend, because those last ones they did, those black and white ones, made me want to hurt myself. But like, there has been some of those where like they have the players weekend that they were kind of cool. But you need to do something. I mean, baseball jerseys are great and alternates are great, but like, give me something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't want you to do what basketball's doing, but give me something here. I'm not asking for much.
What's the picture of the guy with the stick? Do something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Me to MLB's jersey department, do something. And while we're on the topic, the NFL really needs to change. Do you know that NFL teams are only allowed to have one official helmet?
I did not know that.
They have a one helmet rule, and I think they need to change that. But that's a different topic for a different day. Thank you for joining us on the TCF Morning Show Thursday, April 8th. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. Zach, of course, at ZLiliaTCF. The main page at typical_Chicago on Twitter. Make sure you head to Facebook, Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You can find us there. Check out the YouTube page for all of our content in video form. Apple Podcasts. I don't use Apple products, so it's Apple Podcasts, right? All right, so Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review. And as Zach always says, feel free to roast me because I don't use Apple products. Whatever you need to, roast me if you want, as long as you leave a 5-star review. I got thick skin. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast, make sure you follow us there. Head over to 26shirts.com/Chicago for some great Chicago merch, like the shirt you see right here. Anything you need, they got the best clothing for Chicago sports teams in the city of Chicago. I promise you that. Use promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off your order. That's 26shirts.com/Chicago. Thank you for joining us. Zach, appreciate you. Everybody have a beautiful day.
I appreciate you too, Boomy.
Thanks, buddy. We love you all.
Peace.